Alright, and we are live. Good evening po sa inyong lahat mga kaguro. And of course, welcome back po sa Gurong Pinoy. Hello of course sa lahat ng members ng Team Skinner, ang ating po mga inaalagaan para sa upcoming LET. That will be for September of this year. And of course, if you are still not a member, we are still inviting all of you to become a member of Team Skinner. On your screen right now, nakikita niyo po yung ating final coaching. Hindi lamang po ako yung inyong makakasama. Kasama din po natin yung ating viral summa cum laude, si Coach June for Social Science and General Information. And of course, ang ating top 1 for SPLE, si Coach Toto for your math needs. No? So again, sali na po kayo. Ongoing po ang ating registration po. Pwede pa rin po kayong humabol. And of course, tonight, we are going to continue with our mid-review. Our pre-board po is scheduled on August 9th and 11th. Then of course, after that, we are going to have your final coaching discussions. And right after that, magkakaroon pa rin po tayo ng ating classified files discussion. Ano nga ba itong classified files? Ito po yung mga pangmalakasang bala ninyo na of course tutulong sa inyo para sigurado pong maipasa ang LET. Hindi lamang maipasa, malaki pa yung chance ang inyo pong matap ang LET. No? So again, sa kakatapos lamang na licensure exam for teachers, tayo po ay nagkaroon ng 15 top-notchers. Okay? So kayo na po yung susunod. And of course, dire-diretso po yung ating pagre-review as I have mentioned tonight is July 20th. And we will have mid-review part 3. Tomorrow, you are going to have your math drills with Coach Toto. Now, for all Fridays of July, you'll have Coach Toto. All Tuesdays of this month, of course, you'll have Coach June. And dire-diretso yung ating mid-review on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Yung mid-review discussion nyo naman po for your majorship, of course, would be during the weekends. And of course, as I've mentioned, by next month, ay magpi-pre-board na po tayo. So habol na po kayo, just send a message to our Facebook page. And of course, if you end up top 3 sa ating September na LET, you will be receiving 100,000 pesos from Gurong Pinoy. Top 2 receives 200,000 pesos. And of course, top 1 would be receiving 300,000 pesos. Hindi na po kayo lugin. It's going to be life-changing. And of course, sisiguraduhin natin na hindi lamang maipapasa yung LET, magkakaroon pa rin po tayo ng mga top-notchers. Okay? And so again, tonight, we have our mid-review part 3 for LET, September 2023. Kindly like, love, share our video. Start a watch party, tag your friends. You can show your support no, by sending us stars on Facebook and super chat, super stickers naman po sa ating YouTube channel. And of course, before we started our discussion, samahan niyo po ako sa ating opening prayer. Dear Lord, I come to you to ask for your guidance and direction in this study session. I ask that the Holy Spirit fill me with strength, creativity, and understanding to get through my studies without difficulty or sin. Help me hold my focus and attention. Help me to retain all that I learned. Please make my mind sharp and keep distractions at bay. If any part of my studying is weak or lacking in some way, let it be revealed so that I may correct it. Thank you for this opportunity to learn. Amen. All right, now once again, this is mid-review part 3 for our LET September babies. Like, love, and share our video na po. And of course, if you'd want to join us sa Team Skinner, just send a message through our Facebook page. If you are ready, I am ready. We start with question number 1. Okay, question number 1 here. Who is the Philippine president known to usher advancements in science and technology in the country? Would this be letter A, Ferdinand Marcos, letter B, Diosdado Macapagal, letter C, Corazon Aquino, or letter D, Ramon Magsaysay? Who is our choice for number 1? So once again, deepening na po tayo. No? Ito pong lahat ng items na inyong nakikita ngayon sa ating live discussion ay mga items na pong ating na-discuss sa ating individual subjects with Team Skinner, because we are trying to achieve mastery na during our mid-review discussion. So kung ikaw po ay newbie, kakasalang mo pa lang po, no, kakasali sa Team Skinner, habol po tayo lahat po ng files, media, video, andyan po sa grupo natin sa Team Skinner. So explore niyo po. Puntahan yung ating media, ang ating videos, and of course, puntahan din po yung ating files, all the PDF files. can be found sa ating Team Skinner. Okay, I see a lot of letter A's. Tumpak kaya ang letter A. Maayong gabi sa tanan. Sabi ni Facebook user, good evening po sa lahat ng mga taga Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and of course sa ating team abroad, Team YouTube, Team Facebook, Team Replay. Good evening po sa inyong lahat. Okay, number 1, letter A, Ferdinand Marcos ang sagot ng karamihan sa inyo, and letter A is tumpak. Okay, so President Ferdinand Marcos ushered a lot of advancements in science and technology. Now, so here, Marcos assisted 107 institutions in undertaking nuclear energy work by sending scientists to study nuclear science and technology abroad and providing basic training to 482 scientists, doctors, engineers, and technicians. So ang daming advancements in regard to your science and technology during the time of Ferdinand Marcos, the former President Ferdinand Marcos. And of course, kasama na rin po doon yung Pag-asa and ang IRI, yung International Rice Research Institute. Okay, so here, letter A po ang ating tumpak na choice. Ma'am Priscilla Llamas, I see you sa ating comment section, isa sa ating mga passers. Good evening po. Okay, now, what about just Dado Macapagal? If you can give us some contributions na bilang president ni President Diosdado Macapagal, ano po yung kanyang contribution? And of course, sa ating pong Team Skinner, meron po tayong link dyan where you can find all the different names of our presidents and also their outstanding contributions. Sa tanan ng mga, okay, maayong gabi, Coach Mek, at sa tanan from Taguig, sabi ni Facebook user. Okay, hindi ko lamang po nakikita yung inyong name. Alright, again, paki-comment po, ano ba yung contribution naman ni President Diosdado Macapagal? Former President Diosdado Macapagal, of course, he was the father of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Okay, so eto, sabi ni Ma'am Agafe, economic and taxes. Okay, so meron siyang contribution in economics and taxes. What else? Independence Day, tama yan, Sir Richard E. Villanueva. No? So isa sa mga malalaking contribution niya o malalaking pagbabago during his regime was that he transferred our Independence Day celebration from July 4th to June 12. Okay, so from July 4th, ngayon po ay nasa June 12 na, of course, or on June 12 na ang ating Philippine Independence Day, and July 4th is now celebrated as the Filipino-American Friendship Day. No? So kay dating Pangulong Diosdado Macapagal po yan. What about si former President Corazon Aquino? Ano naman po ang kay former President Corazon Aquino? Ayan, dagdag ko lamang kay President Diosdado Macapagal, incorruptible president. Okay, the use of Filipino in certificates. Ayan, napakagaling, napakaganda ng additional information coming from Facebook user. Yung incorruptible president po, lumalabas po yan sa inyong left. And sinabi pa niya dito, the use of Filipino in certificates. And of course, he also abolished tenancy. Okay, what about former President Corazon Aquino? Ina ng demokrasya, democracy. The first female president, not only in our country, but also in Asia. Okay, first woman president. Okay, she restored democracy. All right. Okay, so those are some of the contributions or some of the things that we can remember former President Corazon Aquino. And of course, siya po ay naging Pangulo sa pamamagitan ng People Power 1. So ipinakita ng People Power 1 na po pwedeng merong pagbabago sa ating gobyerno through peaceful means. So hindi kailangan merong dahas, kahit na peaceful lamang yung ating gawin na pagrarally, pagmamarcha sa kalsada na po pwede pong may malaking pagbabago sa ating gobyerno. Okay, so that's former President Corazon Aquino. What about the former President, the late Ramon Magsaysay? Ano naman po? Okay, so kay President Ramon Magsaysay, ano po yung kanyang ambag? Okay, man of the masses, sabi ni Ma'am Romilly Persingula, tama po. Okay, what else? The man of the masses, and he also signed RA 1425. Okay. The Rizal law. The man of the masses, no? So yung pinakamalaking bagay kung saan natin siya naaalala or kung paano natin siya naaalala, he was the man of the masses. He opened Malacanang to the common people, okay? Sa common tao. All right, but here, of course, letter A po, Ferdinand Marcos, ang ating tumpak na choice. Okay, we go to number 2. This is the writing system used in ancient Egypt. Would this be letter A, hieroglyphs, letter B, Cuneiform, letter C, Phoenician, or letter D, Sumerian? What is our choice? Number 2. Number 2, I see letter A. Tumpak kaya ang letter A for question number 2? Tama kaya ang letter A for question number 2? Good evening po sa inyong lahat. Habol-habol. Letter A ang inyong choice, the writing system used in ancient Egypt, and that would be right. Okay, so hieroglyphs ang ating pong tumpak na choice. So here are the first scripts in the world. Yung unang-una po was cuneiform. This was by the Sumerians of Mesopotamia. Okay, so Mesopotamia, no, yung Mesopotamia po, of course, we can find that sa Middle East. All right, so that's cuneiform, the very first system of writing. Then, of course, you have Egypt's hieroglyphs, followed by the Chinese characters, then the Phoenician alphabets, of course, by the Phoenicians in Lebanon, and of course, you have the Brahmic script or Brahmi script by India, okay? But we were looking, of course, for letter A, hieroglyphs. Yung inyo pong cuneiform, as mentioned, that was by Sumerians, now Mesopotamia, Sumerian din po, yung atin ditong choice D, and of course, letter C naman, Phoenician alphabets by the Phoenicians. Okay, so letter A is tumpak. We go to number 3. Okay, yun na, si Coach Toto. Nakikita ko kanina. Hello, math. Which pair of angles are supplementary? Letter A, 60 and 30. Letter B, 85 and 65. Letter C, 40 and 35. Or letter D, 130 and 50. What is our choice? Number 3. Excuse me, ang yayabang. Okay. Batiin ko si Sir Ernest. Asa na yung comment ni Sir Ernest? Ayan, sabi ni Sir Ernest Balot Ibanez. Good evening, Coach Mac. Andito na naman po ako para abangan yung one mistake ko. Okay, yabang, one mistake na lang, di ba? Master na, no, papunta ng 100%. Okay, Ma'am Via Palilio, LPT, March 2023. Na-miss lang tayo ni Ma'am Via. Good evening po. Ayan din si Ma'am Charmy Gumanoy, isa din sa ating mga LPTs. Hello, Coach Mac from Team Brunner. Maraming salamat po. LPT na po ako dahil sa tulong nyo at sa lahat ng bumubuo ng Gurong Pinoy. God bless and more power. Maraming salamat po. And of course, congratulations. Okay, so going back to our question here, sabi ng ating question, which pair of angles are supplementary? Okay, the correct choice here would be, you are all choosing letter D, and that would be tumpak, no? Bakit? Bakit nga ba letter D ang ating hinahanap na choice sa mga bago nating kaguro at medyo naguguluhan pa, no? Bakit nga ba letter D? So here, you have the two different types of angles. The first one would be your complementary angles. These are two angles that add to equal 90 degrees. Okay, so if you add these two angles, their sum would be equal to 90 degrees. And so that means ang letter A mo, this would be a complementary pair, no? Complementary angles po ang inyong letter A. Supplementary angles, on the other hand, when you add them up, their sum would be equal to 180 degrees Celsius. And so here, 130 and 50, that would be equal to 180. No? So meron lang akong hint na ibibigay sa inyo dito para hindi nyo po makalimutan. Now, if you are looking at the letter S, okay, so letter S, yung half niya, okay, yung half ng letter S mo, that would look like a letter C, di ba? At ang inyong S, or supplementary angle, that would be a pair of angles that when you add up, their sum would be equal to 180. Now, ang complementary angles mo naman, ang half ng inyong 180, that would be equal to just 90 degrees. Okay? So, kapag ka complementary po, no, half lamang ng inyong supplementary, so half lamang ng inyong yung 180 degrees Celsius, your answer would be those angles with sum equal 90 degrees. No? Kapag supplementary naman, yung sum nila should be equal to 180 degrees. Alright? So sana po tandaan niyo po ito. Okay, we go to number 4. Still math. Which of the following is the factorization of the binomial x raised to the second power minus 4? Letter A, the quantity x plus 4 multiplied by the quantity x minus 2. Letter B, x plus 2 or the quantity x plus 2 multiplied by the quantity x plus 2. Letter C, the quantity x minus 2 multiplied by the quantity x minus 2. Or letter D, the quantity x minus 2 multiplied by the quantity x plus 2. What is your choice? For number 4, ang bibilis sumagot. Sir Robert Abapo. Hello po. Good evening, Sir Robert. Okay, we have almost 1,400 viewers. Now, if you are still not part of Team Skinner, kung ikaw po ay nakikinood sa ating Facebook page, it's very easy to become a member of Team Skinner. Dire-diretso po yung ating pagre-review sa Team Skinner. Wala pong putol na video. And of course, po, pwede nyo pong i-replay, i-download lahat ng ating files, mag-join ng ating online quiz. And of course, may pre-board po tayo, may final coaching, may classified files. Until the day that you take the LET, ay kasama nyo po ang Gurong Pinoy. So magpa-member po kayo sa Team Skinner, mag-send lamang po na message dito sa ating Facebook page. Alright, I see a lot of letter D's. Ma'am Rosemary Daclan, good evening po. Okay, so here we are looking for the factorization, the factors of your binomial x raised to the second power minus 4. Okay, and so of course, if you are talking about factors, these are numbers. Now in this case, meron kang mga quantities that you multiply to get a certain product, di ba? Now, in this case right here, hindi ko alam kung paano ito sinolve ni Coach Toto when he was explaining this to you because of course, Coach Toto is a math major. Ako naman po ay science major. No? So, minsan medyo trial and error ako. Minsan iba yung pagkakasolve ko. As long as it works, it's fine, di ba? We'd always say in math, you can kill the cat. Kawawa naman yung cat, no? Pinatay. You can kill the cat in several ways, okay? So, as long as it works for you, that's fine, all right? So, pero dito, ako, yung ginagamit ko is the FOIL method, okay? Ay, nakita nyo na yung tamang choice. It's x minus 2, the quantity x minus 2 multiplied by the quantity x plus 2. All right, so here, again, yung ginamit ko po is the FOIL method. That would mean the first, you multiply the first terms first, then the outer terms, the inner terms, and the last terms. No? Yan po yung ibig sabihin ng FOIL method. Sa mga math majors, siguro mata-mata method na lang, titingnan na lang nila, alam na nila kung ano yung inyong magiging choice. Now, sa ating hindi mga math major, minsan kailangan pa natin ng formula, kailangan pa natin ng technique, no? Kung paano tayo makakakuha ng tumpak na choice. Alright, now, you have to remember that whenever you are multiplying your numbers, your integers, if they have the same signs, kunwari, dalawang positive or dalawang negative, yung sign ng kanilang product would also be positive. Pero pag magkaiba po, no, magkaiba yung kanilang sign, the product would have a sign of negative. Okay? So dapat po, alam na natin yan, no, memoryado na. Basic na lang dapat yan. Napag-aralan natin yan when we were in our elementary, di ba? So again, FOIL method, no, first, outer, inner, and last. So titingnan natin. Isa-isain muna natin yung ating choices. No? So here, when you say first terms, no, or first items that you have here, you multiply the first items or the first terms. You have x, then you have x, no? Both of them are positive. Multiplying x times x, you would get x squared, di ba? Then you proceed with your outer terms. No? So here you have x multiplied by negative 2. So that would give you negative 2x. No? So ito po yung ating produkto. Then of course, you continue with the inner terms, plus 4 or positive 4 times x. That would give you plus 4x. Now, looking back at your question, nakikita nyo, no, common sense would tell you na dapat nagka-cancel yung nasa gitnang terms mo dito. Okay? So, looking at this, ligwakers na ang inyo pong letter A. Okay? Because if you have this, then dapat may plus 2x ka dito sa gitna. Okay? So, hindi siya magiging minus 4 na lang. All right, now what about letter B? Letter B, you have x times x, that would give you x squared. Then you have, of course, your outer, no? X times positive 2, that would be positive 2x. Inner, positive 2 times x, that would be plus 2x. Okay, so plus 2, that would give you plus 4x. So hindi pa rin po pwede, ligwak din itong letter B mo. Now, we continue with letter C. Ang letter C mo naman, ito po yung kanyang produkto, no? X times x is x squared. Negative x times negative 2, that's negative 2x. Negative 2 times x, that would be negative 2x. Okay, so looking at this, hindi siya magka-cancel because they both have negative signs, no? And this would be equal to negative 4x. Okay, and so ang ating pong tumpak na choice dito would be x minus 2, with the quantity x minus 2 multiplied by the quantity x plus 2. Okay, because if you multiply this, the first terms, that's x squared. The outer terms, that would be plus 2x. The inner terms, that would be negative 2x. Then, of course, you have the last terms, negative 2 times positive 2, that would give you negative 4. And of course, here, yung nasa gitna, that would give you 0. Okay, so yan po yung ating tumpak na choice. Alright? Okay, so ano nangyari? Ano pong... Okay, same here, same here. Okay, so siguro sa mga math major, tingin-tingin na lamang, alam na nila kung ano yung kanilang magiging choice, no? And pero sa akin, no, foil or first, outer, inner, last, yung aking ginagamit. Okay, so sana po naintindihan. Kapag medyo naguluhan po, pwede pong balikan yung ating videos. Okay, but the correct choice here would be letter A. All right, we go to number 5. It is a process wherein people try to understand each other or to communicate as one, learns from each other's languages. Letter A, language acquisition. Letter B, language learning. Letter C, language contact. Or letter D, language change. What is our choice? Okay, what is our choice for number 5? I see letter C sa ating question number 5. Letter C kaya ang tumpak na choice, language contact. Maaaring sa mga kakapanood pa lamang sa atin, Team Newbie, medyo magulo pa. But of course, kapit lang po kayo, dire-diretso yung ating pagre-review. Balikan po lahat ng ating videos, lahat ng ating files, no, kung kaka-join pa lamang po ninyo para makahabol po kayo sa mga angyayabang na Team Skinner. Okay, 5, letter C. Ang ating pong tumpak na choice dito ay letter C. Tama po yan. No? So here are the different terms that we have. Language acquisition is how you acquire the languages used by your community. So this is how you have learned your mother tongue and your first language. No? So pag nagli-learn ka pa lamang ng inyong mother tongue or ang pangunahing lingwahe ninyo sa inyong community, you'd call that language acquisition. You are acquiring your mother tongue or your first language acquisition. The next term is language learning. Language learning is how you study formally in school or informally on your own a second language. So kunwari sa atin, hindi naman natin first language yung English. How we studied in school formally, or it might be informally, no? Another language, a second language, you call that language learning. So baka lumabas po sa inyong left, you are a fan of Korean drama, and you have learned Hangul, no? You have learned the Korean language on your own. What process is this? And so your choice there would be language learning, okay? Language learning po yan, hindi language acquisition. Language acquisition is for your mother tongue or for your first language. Now, language contact, ayan na po, no? Ito na po yung definition ng ating language contact. People try to understand each other or communicate as one learns from each other's languages. Hindi pa kayo masyadong komportable sa lingwahe ng isa't isa. No, you are trying to understand each other using your languages. Okay, that's language contact. And the last one here is language change. Various individuals have different languages, constantly interact and communicate with each other, and will eventually notice that the language they use have changed to suit their needs. So kumbaga meron ng pagbabago na modify ang paraan nyo ng paggamit ng inyong lengguwahe para kayo'y magkaintindihan. Now, that's language change. Now, may kukwento ako, no? When I started teaching in the US, of course, akala mo, when you go to the US, akala mo, magaling ka na mag-Ingles. But when I went there, iba yung kanilang Ingles, no? Lalo na karamihan po sa aking mga estudyante were Black Americans. So hindi ko sila naiintindihan at first. Iba po yung intonation nila, para silang nag-rap. If you have heard our Black American rappers, no? So ganun sila magsalita. Tapos may mga slang sila na hindi mo maintindihan. So most of the time, I would say, what did you say? What did you say? Until such time na the students would just tell me, never mind. Okay? Because hindi kami magkaintindihan. But eventually, of course, after a few months have passed, we have already undergone, no, the process of language change. Kumbaga na-modify, nag-adjust ang paggamit namin ng lengguwahe para kami po yung nagkaintindihan. But of course, hindi naman ako gumagamit ng Tagalog or Filipino doon. We're using English, but eventually nakapag-adjust kami, no? So kahit sila at first hirap na intindihin yung ating intonation, kahit anong klaro na ng pagsasalita mo, gusto nila ay kinakain mo yung salita mo. Okay? So sana po naintindihan, language acquisition is how you learn your mother tongue or your first language. Language learning is how you learn a second language. Language contact, you are just trying to understand each other. Okay? So first time yung mag-communicate, you don't really know how to use each other's languages. That's language contact. And language change, your process of using your language has already evolved, has already been modified, has adapted so that you can understand each other, so that it can suit your needs, no? Your needs to communicate. Okay, so letter C po, ang ating tumpak na choice for number 5. We go to number 6. Who is the heaven-sent financier of Noli Me Tangere? Letter A, Richard Kissling. Letter B, Maximo Viola. Letter C, Valentin hindi po Venture, no? Valentin Ventura. Or letter D, Francisco Blumentritt. Nag-autocorrect yata, no? Ang Valentin Venture. All right, what is our choice? Yayabang. Okay, number 6, letter B, ang sagot ng Team Skinner. Okay, letter B, lahat sa ating comment box, no, letter B. And of course, letter B po ang ating tumpak na choice. Okay, so ito yung sabi, no? So Maximo Viola po ay nagbigay ng 300 pesos kay Jose Rizal para sa pagpiprint ng 2,000 copies ng kanyang nobelang Noli Me Tangere. At dahil dyan, binigay po ni Rizal sa kanya ang galley proofs, kumbaga yung pinakaunang kopya ng Noli Me Tangere, as well as the pen that he has used or he had used to write the manuscripts. Okay, so that's Maximo Viola, the financier of Noli Me Tangere. Now, Richard Kissling is the Swiss sculptor who made the Rizal Monument. Okay, so pag pumunta ka sa Luneta, pumunta ka sa Rizal Park, yung Rizal Monument ay gawa po ni Richard Kissling. Valentin Ventura naman was the one who financed the publication of El Filibusterismo. So every time na magpapublish si Dr. Jose Rizal ng kanyang nobela, palagi siyang walang pera, no? So si Maximo Viola po ay sa Noli Me Tangere, si Valentin Ventura naman po ay sa El Filibusterismo, tumulong kay Dr. Jose Rizal. Mabuti na lamang marami siyang kaibigan, no, nagpautang or nagpahiram or nag-donate, no? Donate na lamang siguro kay Dr. Jose Rizal. And of course, Francisco Blumentritt naman was considered as one of his confidants, although minsan lamang po sila nag-meet. And he translated a chapter of Noli Me Tangere into German. And later, he also wrote the preface of El Filibusterismo, although he was against the publishing, no, of El Filibusterismo because he believed that it would lead to Dr. Jose Rizal's death. And totoo nga, no, naging mitsa nga, kumbaga, ng buhay ni Dr. Jose Rizal, yung kanyang mga obra, especially ang El Filibusterismo, kasi nga mas seryoso na, di ba, yung tema ng El Filibusterismo. So, letter B, ang ating pong tumpak na choice for number 6, letter B, Six po, letter B, ang ating tumpak na choice. We go to number 7. Spanish governor who signed the death sentence of Dr. Jose Rizal. Letter A, Despujol. Letter B, Polavieja. Letter C, de los Rios. Or letter D, Blanco. Okay, paborito din po ito ng licensure exam for teachers, yung mga governor generals nyo, Spanish governor generals. Letter B, letter B. Good evening sa mga maulan, no? Maulan ngayon sa kanilang lugar. Ingat po kayo dyan, no? Medyo malakas ang habagat. And of course, meron pa rin pool sa mga low pressure areas natin. Ingat-ingat po. Okay, number 7, letter B, ang aking nakikita, Polavieja, and that to be right. Okay, now remember, si Despujol naman, ang nagpatapon kay Dr. Jose Rizal sa dapitan. Although pinatapon si Rizal, no, yung in-exile siya sa dapitan, those were some fruitful years in the life of Rizal, di ba? Marami siyang naiambag doon, marami siyang mga nadiskubre doon, no? Even the species na kanyang nadiskubre, doon po niya nadiskubre sa dapitan. Si De los Rios naman was the last Spanish Governor General. Tandaan po yan, paborito po yan ng LEP. And of course, si Blanco naman, he was the Spanish Governor General prior to Polavieja, and he did not want the execution of Rizal. Okay? Pero nang pumalit na nga si Polavieja, ay Polavieja, no, hindi po Polaviejo, ay pinatay nga no, na-execute si Dr. Jose Rizal. Alright? Letter B po ang ating hinahanap. Number 8. Okay, math again. 3 brothers inherited a cash amount of 62,000 pesos, and they divided it among themselves in a ratio of 5:4:1. How much more is the largest share than the smallest share? Letter A, 75,000. Letter B, 30,000. Letter C, 24,800. Or letter D, 26,500. Ang bibilis. Yayabang talaga. Hindi pa tapos yung question, andyan na yung sagot. Okay. Letter C. Letter C ang inyong choice. Alright, so again, if you are given this type of math question, what you do is, okay, ayan na pala yung sagot ng letter C, ay yung ating pong tumpak na choice. So here, you use this formula, total amount divided by the total ratio, para makuha mo po yung isang parte. Okay, so here, ang total amount mo that is given is 62,000 pesos. And of course, ang ating total ratio is 10. No? So 62,000 pesos, yung total amount mo, sa mga medyo allergic po sa math, no, makinig, divided by the total ratio, which is equal to 10. Saan po nanggaling yung 10? Dito po sa total ratio mo, i-add lamang po sila, no? So 5 plus 4 plus 1, that would be equal to 10. So 62,000 divided by 10. And of course, if you have a multiple of 10 at ikaw ay magdi-divide, hindi mo na po kailangang i-divide, di ba? So you simply cancel, or you simply erase one of the zeros here, you are given 6,200. So kada parte ay 6,200. Pero yung question po, how much more is the largest share than the smallest share? So how would you get the largest share and the smallest share? You simply multiply this by the different parts that you have here in your given. No? So 6,200, yan po yung quantity or amount sa kada parte. You multiply that by the largest share, which is 5. Okay, so you have 6,200 times 5 minus, ito po yung largest share, no, minus the smallest share. And so hindi na po kailangan na, or hindi na natin dapat na i-multiply pa ito by 1. We already know, tinuturo nyo sa inyong mga anak, any number multiplied by 1, the answer would be that number, di ba? So, diretso na, minus 6,200 because that is the smallest share here. Now, 6,200 times 5 is 31,000 minus the smallest share. Ito po yung largest share. Ito po yung smallest share. The answer will be 24,800. So letter C ang ating pong tumpak na choice. Okay? Wow, si Sir Jeremy de la Cruz, sa math major, mata-mata lang. Okay, akala ko ikaw po yung nagmamata-mata. Siya naman daw ay minumuta pag math na. Okay, so Hindi naman po mahirap, okay? Basta naiintindihan po, hindi naman mahirap. All right, number 9. This is the term we use to describe vocal qualities such as pitch, volume, inflection, rate of speech, and rhythm. Would this be letter A, paralanguage, letter B, kinesics, letter C, haptics, or letter D, proxemics or proxemics? What is our choice? Okay, hello, good evening sa ating 1,534 na viewers. Some in Team Skinner A, others in Team Skinner B, others sa ating Facebook page, and of course, the others naman are on our YouTube channel. Good evening din sa mga passers natin. Thank you, Mamek. I passed the LET last March 2023. That's coming from Ma'am Shi Tumanon. Congratulations po. Okay, letter A ang aking nakikitang choice ninyo. Letter A. Alright, and of course, the correct choice here would be letter A, paralanguage, o parang language, pero hindi naman. Okay, so let's take a look at the different types of non-verbal communication. And of course, pag sinabi mo pong non-verbal communication, klase ng komunikasyon, ikaw ay nagpapahiwatig ng inyong saloobin, pero hindi ka gumagamit ng words, di ba? Walang sounds, walang words, alright? Hindi pala walang sounds, no? Kasi meron kang pitch, volume, etc. No? Pero walang words, non-verbal communication. So, una-una dito is kinesics. Kinesics from the term kinetics, di ba? Kinetics, kinesthetics, all right? So, that would give you a hint that this is how you use body movement and facial expressions to express yourself. Oculesics. Oculesics means the eye, no? Paano mo gamitin yung mata mo, makuha ka sa tingin, di ba? Pag nanlilisik yung mata mo, mapupunga yung mata mo, may iba't ibang ibig sabihin, di ba? Haptics is for touch. Haplos, haptics, that's for touch, no? Himas ang haptics. Sana all hinihimas. Ano po yung inyong hinihimas? Okay, so haptics, haplos, that's for the touch, okay? Kung paano mo gamitin yung touch. Iba yung touch na friendly, iba din yung touch na may mali siya, di ba? Proxemics naman, as in proximity, no? Proxemics is how you use space. So we have different types of spaces here. Intimate space is from touch to 18 inches. Yung inyo pong distance, so 18 inches, so that's just 1 ruler and a half, no? Malapit pa rin. Personal space is from 18 inches to 4 feet. Okay, so medyo malayo-layo na. Social space is from 4 feet to 12 feet. Okay, so kunwari nasa isang room kayo, 12 feet yung inyong pagitan, no? That's social space. And of course, you have public space that's beyond 12 feet, no? Usong-uso to ngayon, no, sa issue ni Miss Lea Salonga, di ba? Ano sabi niya? Respect my boundaries, respect my space, okay? So, bawal pumunta sa dressing room ng mga artists, okay? Huwag pong dumiretso sa dressing room. Number 5, chronemics, as in chronology, di ba? How you use time. Kapag may meeting kayo, at ikaw po ay walang gana or ikaw po ay hindi interesado, po pwedeng ikaw ay ma-late or po pwedeng nga namang ikaw ay mang-Indian. Pero kung ikaw ay interesado, on time ka or maaring ikaw po ay earlier, no, than the call time. Now, very important advice, no? As professionals, dapat po palagi tayong on time. Sana po kalimutan na natin yung Filipino time, no? Palaging Filipino time, palaging late. So sometimes pag meron pong program, sasabihin alas 8 yung nakalagay sa program, 8:30 na tayo pumunta kasi alas 9, alas 10 pa yung mag-uumpisa, no? So kaya siya nalilate dahil sa mentality natin na Filipino time is always late. So sana po ay palitan na natin, no? Para mag-move forward din yung ating country. And of course, number 6, paralanguage. Yan po yung ating hinahanap. And 7, silence. Need I say more? Wala na pong paliwanag, no? That's self-explanatory. Kapag wala siyang sinabi, dapat alam mo na yung interpretation mo doon, okay? So, dapat alam mo na yung gusto niyang ipahiwatig kapag hindi siya nagsalita. Kunwari, merong nag-chat sa'yo, hello Mars, kumusta na? Okay? kapag ka ikaw ang chinat at ikaw yung nakatanggap, no? Ikaw yung nakatanggap ng mensahe, medyo kabahan ka na. Kapag ka ikaw naman yung nag-send ng mensahe, hey Mars, kumusta ka na? Okay ka lang ba dyan, no? At walang reply, scene mode lang. That's another way of giving silence, no? That's silent treatment. Dapat alam mo na yung inyong magiging interpretation. Huwag mo nang i-push, no? Huwag mo nang i-push, or bakit hindi ka nagre-reply, etc., etc. Dapat alam mo na, tanggapin mo na kung anong ibig niyang sabihin sa hindi niya pagtugon. Alright? So that's number 7, silence. Ayan, Mars pautang, sabi ni Sir Francisco. Okay, so again, letter A po ang ating hinahanap dito. We go to number 10. Burj Al Arab luxury hotel located in Dubai was built in 1999 and designed by Tom Wright. What kind of function does this kind of art have? Letter A, personal function. Letter B, social function. Letter C, physical function. Or letter D, non-art function. What is our choice for number 10? Okay, so again, if you'd want to watch our full-length video na wala pong aberya, dire-diretso, and of course, pwede nyo pong i-replay, makapag-join po sa ating online quiz, maka-download ng ating files, become a member of Team Skinner, just send a message to our Facebook page. If you're watching us on Facebook right now, na mag-send lamang po ng message. If you are watching us on YouTube, there's so many videos there, so panoorin nyo po lahat ng ating videos. Advice po ng ating mga top-notchers, so at least 3 videos ng Gurong Pinoy everyday. Mag-movie marathon po. And of course, if you'd want to become a member of Team Skinner, lipat po kayo later sa ating Facebook page and send a message. Okay, number 10, letter C. Number 10, letter C, physical function of art. Okay, and that would be the right choice. Okay, so physical function po ang ating hinahanap dito. Pag sinabi mong physical function, ito ay art na may pakinabang. Okay, may pakinabang. That's physical function of art. Let's take a look at the different purposes or functions of art. No, personal function, ang inyong letter A. The artist tries to express his or her personal feelings. So pag sinabi mo pong personal function, ang pakinabang ng art na ito ay para lang ma-express ng artist ang kanya pong nararamdaman. Okay? So kunwari, no, si Taylor Swift, no, sa mga Swifties dyan, good evening po. Or si Moira, di ba? Kapag ka may pinagdadaanan, nagsusulat ng kanta na tawag dyan, yung mga madamdaming kanta. Okay? So that's personal function of art. Ang social function of art, the art conveys a sense of family, community, or civilization na po pwede din siyang cultural function. So kumbaga, meron siyang social issues na tinatalakay, nakakapag-apekto siya sa inyong society. Okay? So that's social function. Spiritual function of art, an artist may create a work to support the religious or spiritual beliefs of a culture. No? So yung mga gumagawa ng mga paintings regarding religion, so spiritual function po yung kanilang ginagamit. Physical function, functional art. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. Ito yung klase ng art na may pakinabang. These are objects that we use in our daily life. For example, architecture, yung mga bahay, buildings, jewelry, pottery, furniture, etc. And of course, pwede din namang educational function, art that has been used throughout time as a way to pass on historical facts. Okay, so teach us about cultures. That's educational function of art. But for number 10, of course, letter C ang ating pong hinahanap. Okay, we go to number 11. What do you call the third part of Kuhn's cycle? We've talked about Kuhn yesterday, di ba, sa paradigm shift niya. Would this be letter A, crisis, letter B, devolution, letter C, normal science, or letter D, anomalies? What is our choice? Okay, number 11, ano po ang ating tumpak na choice? Number 11, what is your choice? Ano ang third part ng Kuhn cycle?